In the ever-evolving world of internet entertainment, celebrities, YouTubers, and even politicians often employ shock value and bold statements to capture their audience's attention. These daring acts sometimes push the boundaries of what's deemed appropriate speech. However, one essential lesson remains constant. Success, wealth, or notoriety don't grant immunity from the consequences of mocking God. In this video, we'll delve into the stories of YouTubers and famous personalities who ventured into this risky territory and the repercussions they faced, the provocation and the humbling experience of Jake Paul. YouTubers often find themselves towing the line between creativity and controversy in the ever-evolving online entertainment landscape. The pursuit of views, likes, and subscribers can sometimes lead content creators to make provocative statements to capture the fleeting attention of digital audiences. But what happens when a well-known YouTuber named Jake Paul mocks God and Jesus, declaring flippantly, "You need a therapist because Jesus isn't quite doing it for you"? This statement's audacity would have life-altering consequences, as it set in motion a series of events that would challenge his beliefs, humility, and understanding of the divine. The consequences of his impudent words began to unfold during a fateful trip to Qatar, a sovereign country known for its blend of modernity and traditional Islamic values. What was intended as a routine travel vlog took an unexpected turn as he suffered severe food poisoning shortly after landing. Hospitalized and far from home, his physical ailment was only the beginning of his tribulations. At the airport, customs officers confiscated his camera, a tool representing his livelihood and his creative outlet. As he arrived at his hotel, he believed these were just minor hiccups, inconveniences that anyone could encounter while traveling. Little did he know that these initial hardships were merely the prelude to trials that would test his mettle and faith. Shortly after the food poisoning incident, his health continued to deteriorate as he unwittingly consumed a beverage that left him poisoned by alcohol. The subsequent weeks brought a string of setbacks, from delayed luggage that left him without suitable clothing for his scheduled events to logistical mishaps that disrupted his planned itinerary. It was a challenging period that led him to ponder the significance of these misfortunes. For the first time, he felt the wrath of a divine presence that he had carelessly dismissed. Historical examples of divine retribution. Let's explore other historical instances where individuals faced severe repercussions for mocking God to provide context and perspective. These historical accounts serve as cautionary tales, illustrating the potential consequences of arrogance and the power of humility. Tancredo Neves. One example is the former Brazilian president, Tancredo Neves. During his election campaign, Tancredo declared that if he received 500,000 votes from his party, not even God could unseat him as president. Remarkably, he did secure enough votes to win the presidency, but the shocking turn of events that followed was a testament to the notion that hubris can invite calamity. Tancredo fell ill the day before he was to take office, and he succumbed to his illness shortly after that. His grandiose aspirations were met with a tragic and premature end. Thomas Andrews and the Titanic. Another example takes us to the tragic story of the RMS Titanic, one of the most iconic ships in history. Its naval architect, Thomas Andrews, famously declared the ship unsinkable and boasted, "Not even God himself can sink this ship." Tragically, Thomas was aboard the Titanic on its maiden voyage when it struck an iceberg on April 14, 1912. Resulting in the ship's catastrophic sinking. He perished with approximately 1,500 other passengers, and his body was never recovered. The lesson here is clear. The arrogance of humanity can be met with a stark reminder of our limitations. John Lennon and the Beatles. John Lennon, a name familiar to most, was a prominent member of the Beatles, one of the most iconic bands in music history. In an interview with an American magazine, Lennon boldly predicted that Christianity would eventually vanish, asserting that Jesus' teachings were overly simplistic. He confidently stated, "We are more well-known than he is right now." Lennon's comments sent shockwaves through his fan base and beyond, as they felt he had criticized Christianity and mocked God himself. This statement led to vehement protests, with demonstrators resorting to burning Beatles posters and vinyl records as an act of protest against Lennon's words. It marked a turbulent period in the band's history and ultimately contributed to their decision to part ways in 1970. Tragically, John Lennon's life met a horrific and untimely end on December 8, 1980. He was fatally shot 6 times in the head by one of his followers right in front of his home. His life was extinguished instantly, leaving the world in mourning. What is eerie, in a strangely prophetic twist of fate, is that Lennon's earlier words seem to foreshadow his demise. It is a stark reminder of the profound impact one's words can have and the unpredictability of life's twists and turns. In many ways, it is a sobering reminder of the enduring power of the human spirit, even in the face of unexpected tragedy. Deontay Wilder and the consequences of arrogance. Those who have suffered repercussions for mocking God extend beyond political figures and celebrities. Even famous sports figures like boxing champion Deontay Wilder have faced consequences for disrespecting God. In a pre-match interview with Tyson Fury, Wilder made bold remarks, warning Fury that not even God could save him in their crucial rematch on February 22nd. "I promised to baptize you before our first clash, and I did, but on February 22nd, not even God can save you," Wilder boldly declared. The exchange continued on social media, with Wilder responding to a Facebook post by Tyson Fury, who had posted from inside a church. However, Wilder's words would come back to haunt him. In their rematch, Tyson Fury secured a victory with a technical knockout, handing Wilder, often called the Bomb Squad boxer from Alabama, his first ever loss in his previously undefeated career. The aftermath of this fight and Wilder's reflections underscore that even individuals with remarkable physical prowess are not exempt from the consequences of their words and actions. Divine intervention in Brazil. While the historical examples are compelling, the tale of divine retribution doesn't solely belong to renowned personalities. Sometimes the most extraordinary stories emerge from the most ordinary circumstances. This particular narrative comes from Campinas, Brazil. It was a seemingly mundane evening when a group of friends, influenced by intoxication, decided to pick up one of their companions. The mother of the young woman, concerned about her daughter's state and the intoxication of her friends, accompanied her to the car. She earnestly said, "My daughter, go with God, and may He protect you." The daughter, perhaps under the influence of alcohol, retorted with sarcasm, "Only if God travels in the trunk because it's already full inside." Little did she know that her words would set a series of events that defy rational explanation in motion. Hours later, news reached the families that the group had been involved in a terrible accident, and tragically, everyone had perished. The extent of the catastrophe was perplexing. The type of car they were traveling in was so severely damaged that it was nearly unidentifiable. What defied explanation was the condition of the trunk, which emerged entirely unharmed. According to the authorities at the scene, there was no logical reason for the trunk's miraculous preservation. Inside the trunk lay a crate of eggs. Astonishingly, not a single egg had broken. This inexplicable event led many to consider the presence of a divine hand, a force that protected even the most unlikely places. The story is a stark reminder of the importance of respecting the divine, even in seemingly trivial interactions, and the potential consequences of flippant disregard for the sacred. The psychology of mocking God. In light of these real-life stories, one must ponder the motivations behind mocking God. Why do people engage in such behavior? The answer, in part, lies in the concept of pride, the root of this behavior. Humans often strive to construct a persona that exempts them from divine judgment. They weave a web of lies to portray themselves as noble or virtuous while masking their inner darkness. This behavior is not new and can be traced back to biblical examples, such as the story of the Tyrian king from Ezekiel 28. The king's pride led him to declare himself a god, only to face the crushing reality of divine retribution. Foreigners were summoned to destroy him, shattering his sense of self-importance. His story is a cautionary tale about the consequences of arrogance and pride. The divine source of creation. It is crucial to understand that we, as humans, are entirely dependent on the divine. In the words of the Bible, the earth belongs to the Lord and everything it contains. This statement underscores the idea that God is the source of all creation. From the vastness of the cosmos to the intricacies of life on earth. The Bible affirms that God is humanity's creator, using his hands to shape us. He extended the skies with the force of his word, creating all that is visible and invisible. The notion that humans are expected to figure out life on their own is notably absent in the Bible. One might wonder why the Bible never suggests that humans can navigate life independently. The answer lies in the repeated emphasis on complete faith in God. Jesus himself in the Gospels reinforces the idea that we are powerless without him. Sinful humanity can only discover the true essence of life when it acknowledges its dependence on God. All religions teach their believers to abide by their laws, and God prohibits us from challenging his authority. These stories are a powerful reminder of the consequences of mocking the divine. It calls for introspection, humility, and a deeper understanding of our inherent dependence on a higher power, regardless of our personal beliefs or convictions. If you found this message enlightening and value-respecting divine authority, support our channel. Like this video, subscribe for more insightful content, and share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching, and stay humble and curious.